Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna start off here with signings that have already been completed, and then we're gonna go off into the tactical path, signings that may happen in the future, whether it's in this window or in the summer window. Already a lot of news around that, and there are chapters here in this video if you wish to skip through certain parts of this video, but I would prefer if you stuck along for the whole ride. Anyhow, let's get started here. First is Claudio Echeverri. So he has been a Man City player since last season already, of course, but he was on loan to River Plate. He is coming back to Man City, but is of course now playing in the Copa Sudamericana or whatever the tournament is for the under-20s. So he will not be back until that tournament is finished. He is captain and he's playing very well according to what other people say. I'm not staying up to watch those games, I will be honest with you. I also don't really care if I'm again being honest with you. I want to see what he can do at Man City once he is a Man City player. Because it's one thing to do it with kids, right? Pause. It's another thing to do this in the big team, to be with the seniors in the Premier League, a very tough league, a very physical league. He doesn't look like a physical specimen to me. And to do it here, so I'm not gonna put too much pressure on him. I'll just see how he comes in, see what I can expect from him, and I suppose we can just see from there with Echeverri, who has been kind of forgotten about really here by Man City fans. Yes, we do have him, a young midfielder, thank God. Next up is the most recent signing, McFarlane. Farlan, I don't know how to pronounce that, my apologies. He is a young player that came through the New York City Academy. He's the first New York City Academy player to go to Man City. So that's a big step for, I guess, our academy in America as well as him. I don't know how good he is. Echeverri and McFarlane may be very boring assessments here by me to start the video off with. I don't know how good he is. I'm not sure if I can tell you he's gonna be great or what. I don't know. So let's go into Vitor Reis immediately here. And Vitor Reis is actually someone I got it wrong about. I said that Vitor Reis would be loaned out immediately and he won't stay at the club and yada yada. But he's not been loaned out, so it seems he's actually gonna stay. I'm not sure what his role will be. I'm not sure how much he's gonna play. But I am surprised to see that he has actually stayed. He's very young. He is incredibly young, you know. He's 18 years old. And now, McFarlane, also 18, but for defenders, that's even more so, because usually centre-backs especially, if you are a centre-back, you don't get a lot of praise, generally, until you're like 26, 27. It's a very experience-heavy position, I suppose. And he's incredibly young already, getting to stay in the Man City first team without being loaned out, like Bobb, for example. We got Bobb after buying Khusanov, and I'll talk about them together here. Khusanov, of course, we bought from loans to be our new centre-back. He's played a good debut, terrible first 5-10 minutes, but he's recouped incredibly well, which shows his mental strength for me. I want a defender who is mentally strong. He's physical, he's impactful, he makes decisions. On that pitch, he makes decisions. So I am happy with what I saw from him in the first game, minus those first 10 minutes. But I can forgive that for him, because new league, new everything, he has to adapt, right? So I'm not gonna blame him too much for that. Khusanov, a Man City player. Bobb from Valladolid, who I have actually watched quite a bit. He's decent, I would say. He's not great, I'm not gonna lie to you. But he's okay, he has his moments. He is solid, he's a steady Eddie, you know? He gives you 7 out of 10s. Sure, I like him. Again, I'm not gonna tell you he's great, but out on loan, let him develop. I'm not sure how old he is actually, but let him develop, let him grow into his own player, come back to Man City, and we'll see what we have, right? Now, the most interesting of the completed signings here, for me at least, is Omar Marmoush. I've watched quite a bit of Omar Marmoush when he was at Wolfsburg, was it? And just in general, I've seen a bit of him at Frankfurt. He's decent. I've always thought he was decent. I haven't watched Frankfurt yet this season, but my friend, who is a Bundesliga fan, Dosild, always in the channel as well, he says he wanted Omar Marmoush at Bayern München for a while, so I'll take that with a stride of joy. He's incredibly good from what I can see. His first game already, he played out on the left wing. I guarantee you, left wing is Savio's spot. The reason he played left wing is because he can't play against Club Brugge because of like registration stuff. So Savio will be left wing again. And Marmoush will then be striker and he'll be attacking midfielder and right wing. He can play anywhere in that front, well, four I suppose if you count the attacking midfielder. Which makes him the perfect Alvarez replacement. That is what Pep wanted from Alvarez. Can't do that. I think Alvarez is in general a better player, but he's not a more versatile player. Omar Marmoush is that player we've been looking for to be that Haaland cover and still play games elsewhere, right? I think he's going to be very good for us. I think he'll help Haaland score more as well. Because you will have two people in the box to worry about. If you put 2-3 defenders on Haaland, now Marmoush has space to roam. So I'm very excited to see what he does at Man City. I think he'll be very good. I'm not worried about him. So with all that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the tactical path here, what we are still lacking. Well, I think we all know what we are lacking right now. Don't worry about don't look at this midfield. Do not look at it. Pretend it doesn't exist. Okay, so Matheus Nunes at right back. I mean, he's not been terrible. I feel like people go over the board. He's not been terrible. He's just not been good enough. So, a right back? Pretty please? That'll be very nice. Now, if we're talking about a right back, there's actually some news going around here for Joshua Kimmich, who is leaving on a free in the summer. That is in the summer. I don't know if we're gonna get him, but here's my honest opinion. I'm not sure if he's gonna have much of a role in this team. Because I look at the team right now, and I'm like, okay, get a young right back, get a young defensive midfielder, and you've got everything covered. So, why would we get this guy, Kimmich, who is already a bit older, when we could just not get him and get two other players who may have their own versatile uses and are maybe not better, but better suited for our style. I'm not sure if we're gonna get him, if I'm being honest with you. And it doesn't help either if he comes in the summer and we need him now. So, as for the right back, I think we might be seeing Nunes, Akanji, and Rico Lewis on right back duty here. A potential for Khusanov to maybe play there, I'm not quite sure. Maybe JSP, Polsey, whatever you like to call him. McFarlane, I mean, he's a left back. Can he play right back? Not quite sure, but I mean, we have a lot of options there. They're just not good options, but there are options there. The other thing we really need is a defensive midfielder, for the obvious reasons here, as you can see. So we will have 2 8s in midfield here, with Grealish and Kovacic, and then Omar Marmoush. And the strategy is, don't lose the ball, because if you lose the ball, you're going to concede a goal, basically. And get the ball into Marmoush and score. Either go through Savio, Foden, or straight into the middle with Haaland. Not really too important to go into detail here, but our defensive midfielder is a big thing for Man City. So, if you want to know about Ederson, by the way, if Ederson leaves, we're going to go get Mike Maignan. I've always rated Maignan. I've been very open. I think he's a very good goalkeeper. I'm pretty sure we can get him as well. His AC Milan team is absolutely horrible. He wants out. I promise you, he wants out. This man is sitting there, making save after save after save. And then he watches, and he sees Rafael Leao walk a ball out of play, and he's like, why am I here? That is Maignan right now. So if we want him, we will get him. I have wanted him for a while. I believe I said in the summer. last summer that I wanted him if Ederson leaves, so I would be happy for Maignan to come. And then this. Looking to make major signings. Sam Lee is in to know, by the way. He's from the club. He's not from the club, but you know what I mean. He is in the know. So, but here's the thing. That's all in the summer. I shouldn't be checking my Twitter stuff right. Okay. Tommy is gay now, by the way. So, what was I saying here? Right. I think that's because now all the news is in the summer. I think Man City has possibly already finished a deal here with another club for a midfielder. And it's all being put in secret, right? You know why I think that? Because it makes no sense for Man City to play without a 6 all season unless Pep has a plan. Maybe the plan is O'Reilly is about to get minutes. Maybe the plan is McAtee is going to get minutes and we're going to see McAtee maybe something like this, right? Maybe this is what we're going to see. Khusanov, I guess you could have a back 3 then, couldn't you? Where is Diaz? Injured, of course. Let's put straight. Don't worry about the players. It's the idea that counts. Don't worry about the players. Maybe the idea is back 3 here. Grealish could arguably play as left wing back, or you could have someone else play as left back again. Don't worry about the details. But maybe the idea is we're gonna put 3 younger midfielders in. We're gonna have Kovacic, a bit older as the 6. He's gonna manage it. Maybe that's the idea. Not quite sure, but there are ideas out there. But what seems a lot more likely, in my opinion, is we're just gonna get someone. We are just going out there to make a signing on the last day of the window. And why is it the last day of the window? Because that's gonna get a lot of hype. That's gonna put the Man City fans in a hype mode. And I don't think it will be a great play. What I think is gonna happen is what Real Madrid did with Joselu. Joselu came in, got to have his minutes, got to have his involvements, I suppose, but immediately had to go again. He was 1 season there because we need a striker. It's not a great guy. Let's bring him in. Let him have 1 season here, and then he can go. And do him a favor by selling him cheap. I think we're going to do something like that. A defensive midfielder out there somewhere, surely, going in for half a season, then we sell him for cheap. To do him a favor, basically. Make sure he plays regular football. Thank you, bye-bye. Right? That is what I think. Whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know. But that is my final, I suppose, transfer news prediction here. I think we're going to get a defensive midfielder on the last day of the season. If we're not, still, we have Echeverri, we have Khusanov, we have Marmoush, we have a lot of players that are coming in. We have O'Reilly, if we want to play with younger midfielders. Rico Lewis can play in midfield if you don't want him on right back. We have options, basically. I don't think defensive midfield is our biggest problem. I think it is age of the midfield. I think the midfield needs to be younger. Defensive midfield is a problem. But people really think that we started losing games because of Rodri, when we didn't have Rodri all season. So why did we have a really good start to the season if we didn't have Rodri all season? The problem was not Rodri. The problem is fatigue. Old players, right? Getting very tired very quickly, especially as the season goes on. What we need is young midfielders. And I think we have that right now. I would absolutely love, a defensive midfielder right this second. But if we're not winning the league title anyways. Let us be honest. We are not winning the league title. But win the FA Cup, I'm happy. Top 4 and FA Cup, I'm not happy, but this season is at least fixed somewhat. Then get a defensive midfielder who is actually going to be good long term in the summer and kick off from there. Yeah, I think we're balling. Oscar Bobb coming back from injury, by the way. A lot of people forget about him. I forgot about him, didn't even talk about him today. I just threw that in there completely at the end. My apologies. But yeah, I think we'll be fine. Oscar Bobb, of course, can play right wing, can play left wing, can play false 9, can play midfield. Another Pep Guardiola player, very versatile. Anyhow, that is it for me. Thank you for watching to the end. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Helps the channel out a ton. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Very tall order, but like and subscribe, help me get there. I appreciate it a ton. I'll see you guys on the next one.